Greetings and welcome to Let's Have a Look at my game library. While the competition on GOG is still going on right now, but I'm not gonna enter it anymore. However, I'm still gonna do this every Saturday, where I have a look at one of the games from my gaming library and give my opinion about it. Just general, and if I can remember how I came in contact with it. Now, Commandos 2, which I've already done an LP of here, is actually I still got here all the missions from the LP. This game was the first game I originally beat on my own computer. Until then I've been playing on my older sister's computer. But when I got my own computer back in 2002, this was the first game I beat, and I beat it on all 3 difficulty levels in a row. Something that I haven't done with many games. I rarely replay games at all. There's a few like Gothic that I've played 9 times, but besides that, I rarely replay any of my games. Now, what do I think about the game? Well, I absolutely love it. This is by far one of my favorite tactical games. While I do prefer more strategic games generally, this one is probably one of my favorites. And it's by far my favorite Commandos game. I think maybe Robin Hood, The Legend of Sherwood, when it comes to this type of game, I like more, but I have far more nostalgia when it comes to this game. Remember it more. And I like that you generally have multiple approaches, which is always nice to have. You can either choose to go knock everybody out or just outright murder them. And let's just quickly have my opinion about the different people. Starting with Thief and Natasha. Well, here we are having the 3 first character that you get in the main campaign to play with. When it comes to Natasha, it doesn't have that much of opinion you have about her. You have her in 3 missions in total, but she works very much like the spy. So her and the spy, I use them basically interchangeable by allowing people to look away. In this mission, she's really vital because she can take out the guys for thieves to get through. And in the other missions you have her, you can put her in a car and basically just run over everybody in the level. That's kind of weird. If you try to do it with the spy, they will discover her, but Natasha, no matter. And this is also the only game she's in because she basically fills up the same role as the spy, although she can get a sniper rifle, so she has a combination of the spy and sniper, but she's not all that interesting. When it comes to Thief, he's probably my favorite character. He can do some of the fun things. The only downside with him is he cannot tie anybody up, but besides that, he's generally fast. And he can do fun things like sneak around and stand behind people. So he's one of my favorite characters together with another one we will look at later. And then there's Whiskey. Whiskey is nice enough to have. You don't have him for that much, and you can basically just use him to transport items around or distract guards. Useful, but just like Natasha, you can do it with Spy if it should be really so. It's not that big of a deal, except for the fact that he will never get shot. Well, let's have a look at the 3 other characters now. And from these, the spy is definitely the most useful, although Diver is also very useful. The spy can basically... let's move away from the water here. Let's get them over here. Well, when it comes to it, the spy is one of the most useful characters because he can distract guards and get them to look somewhere else. Which you can see in the LP I do a lot. Making him one of the most useful characters. He's also very good for scouting and getting the bonus books, so definitely one of those I like using the most. The diver. The diver is pretty good due to his ability to throw knives. Generally, I have a tendency to only use one character, but the mission where you're forced to use the diver for a while, not that bad. He's pretty good since he can just throw the dagger at people and take them out. Probably just as good as the Green Beret, but I prefer using him. Now, the Sapper is one of those I use very little because I don't really use the explosive. He's really good for getting rid of mines when the level forces them upon you, but else I have tended to do not use him that much. He's probably one of those I don't really care that much for. As for the last three, the one that is most useless is probably the driver. He's pretty good when it comes to placing traps, like in this mission where you get an invasion, but else generally I don't use him for much. He has a few nice grenades that is useful, but beside of that, not that big a deal. And his ability to drive any vehicle doesn't really come into it that often. Especially being in vehicle often just makes you a sitting target. So yeah.
I'm your man.
Sniper. Well, his ability to use the sniper rifle is probably the most useful ability to take out guards anywhere, together with, especially in Tasha's, since he can do it while still disguised. Although, beside of that, if you, like, I generally go for non-lethal or silent kills at least. Not that useful, but I do like snipers generally, so. And now my favorite character together with Thief, the Green Beret. Why? Well, first of all, he's pretty fast. Just like he's the second fastest character, the Thief being the fastest. He has the ability to both kill the enemy fast up front or punch them out, and he's also quite doable, so you can basically just walk up to them and stab them while they shoot them, while they shoot at you. You can also bury him to hide him. Generally, I just use him to walk up and take out people. He's also the leader of the group, so. Now let's just have a quick review on the missions. When it comes to the missions, I far prefer the one where you're fighting Germans for some reason. I find most of the missions with Japan being quite boring, maybe except the giant in Haebong, because you get Natasha to just run people over. But the guns of Sevo Island and the River Kwai especially I find quite boring. Also, I don't think you get the spies in any of those, so you don't have this ability to just get people to look away. Most of the other missions I quite like. My favorite, probably Dispute or White Death. Quite early on, I like location. Don't really Night of the Wolves is not that interesting, but when you combine it with Dispute, it really is a fun little startup, and quite a good startup. When it comes to later on here, the last one, Saving Private Smith, it's quite interesting, especially if you take everybody out, you basically get attacked. So, as a little, no, I think if you get all the pages of the book, I cannot remember actually, but if you do something special, you get attacked, and that's actually quite neat. Castle Colditz, where you have to save the thief first, and then go through the castle. That's also a pretty good one, and of course it's Paris Burning. It is a little large mission if you try to go everywhere, and especially if you do it non-lethal, it can be a little bit of pain. But you cannot. You can just run over people with Natasha, and it making it quite a shorter mission. I also like the fact that you just knock everybody out and then hide them somewhere. Will anybody find them? Who knows? But anyway, that is my little short look on a game from my gaming library. I would say it's highly recommended if you like this type of strategic games. It's probably one of the best games there is. This is Finirun. Pebble.